Hey, it's Mike. I am back. I'm ready to go. What do we got here? We got Dahlia Roberts. Hey, how you doing, Dahlia? Good to see you here. We got Tim. Hey, Tim. Good to see you. Thanks for all the videos, man. I'm trying to get to everything. I really appreciate it. All the videos. Snoggle. Good to see you. Duke of Squirrels. Good to see you in the USA. All right, so let me get the. I got a lot of stuff in honor of International Women's Month, or I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on, but we're gonna do a thing about women today. Women's rights, women's whatever, equal rights, women's liberation, whatever you want to call it, equality. And Prabhupada's views. And Prabhupada's views on that, and the fact that the UN has some Hare Krishnas are going to be speaking about women's rights. So that's why we're going to take a look at what the Hare Krishnas really believe about women's rights, what Prabhupada has to say, and then we're going to take a look at whatever. Hey, we got Aviator Lochan, man. Hey, good to see you, buddy. So let me get right to the opening, and we'll be right back.
Hello.
Hey, all right. Hey, good to see everybody still here. We got AJ. Hola. Hola, ¿qué tal? I don't. That's about it for the Spanish for me. I'm not good with the Spanish. Okay, so first thing I want to do a little bit of this, just for fun, before we get started, just to get warmed up. We're gonna do a little bit of. We'll do a little bit of this. Okay, so I don't want to use a cliche, but I will. So this guy's got Mike on the brain. I must live rent free in this guy's head. I mean, he already took his videos down because he doesn't want people to see the things that he's been saying about child marriage and Prabhupada, whatever. I don't know, but. He's blaming me for that, like somehow, and you guys too for going into his channel. I didn't make him take his videos down. I didn't request that he take his videos down. I didn't send YouTube anything about his channel. I didn't do anything to instigate any kind of action against his channel. I didn't do anything. He decided to do whatever he wanted to do. But he's blaming me, and he's blaming you guys too. So I'm a cult guy, so I monitor cults, right? That's what I do. I scan the internet and I see what these ISKCON cult people are doing. So I happened to go by him, and
all that. That's not Lord Chaitanya's mercy and mission and all that. That's been given in our hands. Yeah, I don't think anybody's got this from Prabhupada. This level of it. This is like we're bringing it back to.
So he just said that nobody in ISKCON, none of the gurus, nobody has what he has. Nobody has the understanding nobody has the understanding that he has. He's so beyond. I know. Believe me, that's why I do it. I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it for you, dude. Believe me, I can only take it for a moment. You want to know? You want to know my name? You want to know my name? Bhakti Venmo Sri Mukunda is my initiated name. Sri Mukunda. And now I'm Bhakti Venmo Sri Mukunda Swami. Okay, okay, so
where it began, you know, where it started. Yeah. So I think I'll let this Mike watch this class here, because it was about, even though he won't understand it, but maybe some of his followers, who knows, maybe let him react.
No, I don't have followers. I have an audience. I have subscribers, and they come in and they watch and they join in, and they're ex-devotees. I don't have any followers. Nobody follows me like people follow you. You're the cult leader. You're the weird ass cult leader. But he's saying that, I don't. Hey, Eliana, good to see you. Of course, I wouldn't understand. I wouldn't understand. He says maybe some of you might understand. He says maybe some of you would understand, but I definitely couldn't. I definitely couldn't understand.
I tell you, this Maya, God's Maya, is really covers you. On one level, we're all devotees. Really on the spiritual level.
He's gonna get all. He's gonna get all. Anyway, so that's so that was one. That's his new video that was online. It's on his channel, and so I saw that. And I said, "Oh, this guy's, he keeps thinking about me." I guess because he had to take his shit down off of YouTube, or he felt he had to take his shit off of YouTube. Here he is again.
Radhe, Krishna, 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 Krishna. Beautiful Lilita. Oh, I just love those hot lips. Those hot lips are so hot. There you go, Mike. You can make something neat of that. You can completely misunderstand what I'm saying.
No, I'm not I don't misunderstand anything you say. I understand what you say perfectly well. He's calling her hot lips because we call her hot lips. I know. I can't understand his level of intelligence. He's so vast. He's lost in space. Absolutely, he's gone. But he does know that we call her hot lips. I call her hot lips. We call her hot lips. And he knows that, and he knows that he's full of shit, and that we watch what he says. It's just, what the fuck? I don't. He's calling her hot lips, and he's like, oh, I love those hot lips, whatever. I just, Don, how you doing, buddy, man? Good to see you here. Yeah, we're both old farts, man. I know. It's so funny though. Anyway, no, I'm not gonna make it. I don't care. You want to call her? That's my nickname. you want to call her my nickname, Hot Lips, yeah, I made up that name for her. But if you want to use it and you want to call her Hot Lips, that's fine. And I'm not going to make anything of it. What's there to make of it? Other than you're still the faking scammer guru. That's it. I don't need to go any farther about it. We all know you took your videos down. You took your videos down, and that's it. We don't need to go anymore. And you can stop talking about me because it doesn't. I know he must feel like he's got to reinforce their loyalty because he knows that what I'm saying, he knows what I'm saying is true, and he knows that he's being exposed. Otherwise, why'd he take his videos down? It's ridiculous. Anyway, I thought that was funny. I wanted to share that with you. So now let's get into this. Let's get into this. Okay. This is pretty funny. It is pretty funny, Don. I like your comments. You're like, nobody understands anything but these dipshits. That was so funny. And it's like, it's like what? It's like, what the actual fuck? I know. It's so funny. Exotic Hot Lips. Goragita. I know. It's like, it's crazy. Okay. So, anyway. Okay. That's. Now let me just share this. Let me share this with you real quick. This is from the United Nations, and I'm going to put it on the screen real quick. It's from the United Nations. It's the United Nations on women's rights. The United Nations and women's rights. And, this is the most up-to-date. Yeah, giggity, giggity. Okay, he's all, hey, I like those hot lips, giggity, giggity. He's giggity Swami. He's giggity Swami. He's like, oh, that's too funny. Okay, so speaking of giggity, it says here, I put this into Google and it came back and it says the United Nations champions women's rights as a fundamental human right, primarily through its dedicated entity, UN Women. Hey, Jeff, good to see you, man. So it says primarily through its dedicated entity, UN Women, and the Commission on the Status of Women, and then it's got links where you can click and it'll explain more in depth about that. So it says as of March 2026. As of March 2026, the UN report that no country has achieved full legal equality for women and girls. Globally, women currently hold only 64% of the legal rights that men do, and it is estimated that it will take 286 years to close these legal protections gaps at the current pace of progress. Okay, so it says key UN frameworks and entities. UN Women, established in 2010, is the global champion for gender equality, focusing on leadership, economic empowerment, ending violence, and peace and security. And then it goes on with some other initiatives that they have. The Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women acts as an international Bill of Rights for women. It says current focus 2025, 2026. It says the 70th session focused on ensuring and strengthening access to justice for all women and girls, emphasizing the elimination of discriminatory laws and addressing the global backlash against gender equality. Okay, and here it says, and then it's got some other links. It says persistent challenges, violence. 1 in 3 women worldwide experience physical or sexual violence in their lifetime. Economic gaps. Globally, women earn approximately 20% less than men, and 61 countries still restrict women from performing the same jobs as men. child marriage. Nearly 1 in 5 young women were married before the age of 18, with rates remaining high in sub-Saharan Africa. Okay, and then it says you want to learn more about UN programs. Okay, so that's just the UN. That's just in a nutshell. That's just like basic in a nutshell stuff. Okay. So here we have. I can't believe this. It says here, North America Vaishnavi Ministry participating in UN Commission on the Status of Women. And it says the North American Vaishnavi Ministry is participating in the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women from March 9th through March 20th at the UN headquarters in New York City. In-person participants include Govindapriya Devidasi, Shama Mohini Devidasi, and Ilya Hatwal. Okay, and it goes on. And it says here, the Commission on Status of Women is the principal global intergovernmental body dedicated to advancing gender equality and the empowerment of women. Okay? And then here's the women that are going to be at the UN. And then let me just share this with you. This says let's see, where is it? Okay, so Rukmini Devi Dasi's presentation for the UN Forum. Okay, it says, okay, I'm not making this up. I'm going to show this to you. I'm going to show this to you just so you can see it. I'm reading it right here. Rukmini Devi Dasi's presentation for UN Forum. Okay, and there's a video, so you can actually watch the video of her talking. Okay, now it says, today an inspiring video message from Rukmini Devi Dasi inaugurated the ministry's participation in the forum. Speaking from the Bhakti Yoga tradition, she highlighted how devotion honors the divine feminine through the worship of Sri Radha and recognizes love of God as the highest human aspiration. Yet she noted a paradox. While the divine feminine is revered in spiritual traditions, the voices and leadership of women are often dismissed or feared within society and even within religious communities. Hey, it's Liam. How you doing, Liam? Good to see you here. And we got the queen herself, Queen Kunti. I mean, Queen of Karma, not Queen Kunti. The Queen of Karma just got up, March break here. Good to see you. I'm doing good. I hope everyone's doing good. So this is the rest of what she has to say. She says, and we're just getting started. We're just getting started. Drawing on the spiritual teachings and global examples, Rukmini Devi Dasi emphasized the true power of women lies in compassion and spiritual strength. Quoting leaders such as Martin Luther King Jr. and reflecting on saints and reformers throughout history, she explained that transformative leadership is rooted in love that seeks justice and uplifts the vulnerable. Women, she said, have historically served as the holders of community, and when women are dishonored, the consequences ripple outward, affecting families, children, and even the natural world. Concluding her talk, Rukmini Devi Dasi encouraged listeners to lead with humility and vigilance, warning against allowing anger to corrupt righteous causes. Instead, she urged leaders to follow the example of saints like Queen Kunti, praying that their devotion and service flow like the Ganges, steadfast, compassionate, and unstoppable in bringing relief to others. Now, okay. Hail to the Queen, absolutely. And hey, Trey, Martin, good to see you here. Rafael, good to see you here, buddy. so there you have it. So she's got the nerve. This devotee woman's got the nerve to stand up there and invoke the name of Martin Luther King, who Prabhupada had no respect for Martin Luther King at all. He thought Martin Luther King was a failure. He didn't believe that black people deserved to have civil rights. He thought they belonged. He thought they were better off as slaves. You hear what I'm saying? That's what Prabhupada said. I've done a bunch of videos about it. So the fact that she stand up there and invoke the name of Martin Luther King is an insult to Martin Luther King and his family and his legacy. And I can't believe anybody can't call her out on that. How dare you? When you worship a man, you believe this man is God, like God, you worship him, your whole life revolves around this man who thought that Martin Luther King didn't deserve any respect at all, and that he was a failure, and he was black, and he was ugly, and he belonged in the jungle, and he didn't even deserve civil rights. That's what Prabhupada believed. That's what Prabhupada said. And for this woman to get up there and invoke the name of Martin Luther King in front of the UN and pretend like ISKCON and Prabhupada, like they have any respect for Martin Luther King, it's insulting. It's goddamn insulting. Using, I haven't even gotten into that. Using the Bhakti tradition for women's rights, the whole history of Bhakti is freaking fallen women, and decide. Okay, so let's look at. I don't even know where to start. Let's start. I can't. They're all a bunch of hypocrites. How do they infiltrate the United Nations? How do they get invited to the? How does anybody that knows anything about Hare Krishna say, "Oh, let's invite the Hare Krishnas to talk about women's rights and equal rights for women. Let's have them speak to the United Nations at the conference for the conference of women." Exactly. Thank you. Insanity.
Has the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
I can't believe it. Like, well, and it just reminds me of what Knitting Cult Lady says. They were a pedophile cult, children of God. They performed at the White House twice. They performed for the president of Brazil. They performed for the president of the Philippines. They were performing all over the place. They were a goddamn pedophile cult. It's no surprise. And just like she said, is she surprised that no man has gone to jail for Epstein Island? She says no, she's not surprised because it's patriarchy. Are anyone surprised that these gurus are being let go and they don't care and they go to Juhu Beach and they go to Mayapur and Bhavananda comes back and Rameshwar comes back and they don't do anything about it because they're the super white Hindus? Where's fake human? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's. I just don't know. So let's look at what some of the things that Prabhupada has to say. That these people believe. We got to remember, they believe every single thing that Prabhupada says. They believe it like it's the law books of everything. Every word that comes out of his anus mouth, they just lick it up. They lick it up. It's Morning Walk. 1975. 1975. He says, let me get back over here. He says, Hari, sorry. So Lord Brahma's being attracted to his daughter. That is just an example. Prabhupada, so why you discuss this? Therefore you shall be attracted with your daughter. Mother, do you think like that? Hari, sorry. No, Indian man, in this world this is our disease. Prabhupada, yes, that disease, Brahma, Lord Shiva also, he was attracted to Mohini. So they are Ishvara. They are controllers. So the instruction is that even such personalities may be sexually attracted. So how much will we shall remain careful? This is the instruction. Exactly. Right. Exactly. I can't remember all that stuff, but yeah, right. Jayadev, he wrote. Yeah, a Canadian cult lady, and yeah, it was, and I remember them, and we used to hear about them back in the day, and we didn't know. No one knew it was a pedophile until the word got out. Let me see, where is? I'm gonna find it. Don't worry, I'll find it. I had it queued up, but then I had to look and it's hard to get back where these lectures and talks are so long. Okay, here it is. So Indian devotee, Tilaka's wife, she told me she was very upset, One day when she came to see you and that one rascal yogi was there, and he said that in the Vedas everything is mentioned that we can drink and woman and the man have equal right. Then you answered her, and she was also saying the same thing. And you answered her, okay, if woman and man have equal right, then why not your husband begot the children? No, why not you begot the children in the womb of your husband? And she was very upset, She said, Prabhupada sometimes say the things like that which are unreasonable, Prabhupada, it may require, no, I said that if you are equal rights, then make some arrangement. Sometimes you become pregnant, sometimes he becomes pregnant. Why there is not right, equal right? Is that you gotta be kidding. You gotta be kidding me. That's the level of Prabhupada's intelligence, is that women can't be equal because men can't get pregnant. This is a holy man. This is a holy man. This is the smartest, the guru, the smartest man on the planet. This is Prabhupada's intelligence. So he goes on, he says later on in the conversation, he says, Prabhupada, they were very upset. And when I was coming, I think in Chicago, in the aeroplane, one of the host girls, she was seen. I asked her to supply 1-7-Up, and I have no key. She was so angry, but all the captains and others, they gathered around me. Hare Krishna. I think that was the same stewardess who came in the back and asked us why the Swamiji doesn't like women. See, they could tell. They could tell. They could tell he doesn't like women. They could tell. Prabhupada, no, I don't say that I don't like women, but I cannot say that equal rights. How can I say? First of all, you show that you equal rights. Your husband becomes sometimes pregnant, and then you become pregnant alternately. Aksayananda. Yeah, that doesn't mean you don't like them. Prabhupada, no, it is truth. I am speaking the truth. That if you have equal right, then let your husband become pregnant, make some arrangement. Now you gotta, now give me a break, man. Give me a friggin' break. This, seriously? What do you mean that doesn't mean you don't like them? Well, what, how can, what does he have to say? I don't like them? If he doesn't say, I don't like them, he can say whatever. It's friggin' insanity. I missed some of your comments. Jenna Morton, see how you doing? I think I mentioned your holy moly baloney. I mean, in the 13th century, Brahma Samhita was composed, Govinda million times lustier than Cupid. 17th century, Chaitanya becomes the biggest fan of this made-up sex poem starring horny Radha, Krishna and Radha. Yeah, it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Chaitanya is no different than this guy that started the children of God. Right, what the fuck? I read so much of this stuff and it's very frustrating. I know, because you're not a devotee, so you see it for what it is. But when we were in it and we were reading it and hearing it and doing all this stuff, it made sense to us. It made sense to us, and it's really weird how when I look back and it's like, how the fuck, how the fuck, and then it says. So Prabhupada goes on. He says, if you have equal right, then let your husband become pregnant, make some arrangement. Hare Kesh, Vishaka was preaching to her. She said that, quote, actually, we are less intelligent, unquote. That started a big scandal. Prabhupada, yes, and that is Krishna consciousness. That is Krishna consciousness. When the woman says, we are less intelligent than the men, that's Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada says, yes, that is Krishna consciousness. They are in equal right. Then, nowadays, of course, they are thinking like that man should remain independent, and they'll have homosex, and the woman also independent, and they will make this is most immoral things. This is Prabhupada. This is the man that they worship. That these women and these women, you don't think these women don't know? If you're worshiping this man and you're throwing flowers at his feet and washing his feet, whatever, I don't know what you're doing, shouldn't you know what he believes and what he thinks? Let me see, where he really doesn't understand psychology, which is weird of a cult leader. Well, he understands how to brainwash people. And that's why the brainwashing, I'm saying this brainwashing technique with guru worshiping and all, because it clicks off all the boxes. It goes back thousands of years. They've honed it down. They've got it, it's not hypnotism. It's not hypnotism. But it is brainwashing. It is brainwashing. And he understands these books, and these books are like the recipe for how to brainwash somebody. It really is, and it's like I was talking the other night. It's like each part of the cult, the shaving the head and the changing the dress and giving the name, living in an ashram, worshiping the guru, the scriptures, the transcendent mission, the sacred assumption, the us versus them, the ends justify the mean. When you get that machine running like an engine, like a V8, and it's running perfectly, it's a powerful brainwashing thing. Just like Paz's brother, like all of us. It's a powerful brainwashing thing. It doesn't mean you can't wake up and get out of it, but it is. And I believe that a lot of the cults and a lot of the cults that have sprung up through time, starting way back, Puritans, even before the Puritans. I mean, cults go back all the way back to, beginning of time, I guess. But and this is one of them. And this one has really strong techniques that I think a lot of people have studied and have used. All these gurus, Maharishi and Bhagwan Rajneesh, and so many of these gurus, they're all using the same V8 engine to program everybody. If Prabhupada Conversation would have been published as his books, they are. But they only printed like 10,000 or so many. So there's not that many of them. And Yashodanandan had a set. I had them in my apartment. I had a set of them. But you didn't have the database. Like, you couldn't just search. You had to look through the book. I mean, how are you going to search? You couldn't just search the books like you can do the database. You can't just pick up a book and just search, women or child abuse or less intelligent. You can't do that. But yeah, the conversations books do exist, and there's even a lectures book where there's the transcripts of all of his lectures are in these books. But again, you can't search them. You just got to read them. You can't search them. Mashugana, I don't know what that is. The conversations are horrifying, and they get worse as you go along. Yes, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. The only rights gopis have is to service Krishna and all his needs. If not, you are in Maya. Well, if I've only touched the surface. He said, see, I think I lost it now. So this is another thing. This is another thing that he says that's really disgusting. Queen of Karma. You I don't know if you've heard this one, but you'll hear this one. Let's see. Okay, well, yeah, he says a lot of things. Here's one. He says right here, and this is pretty. This is what he says. Okay, he says, the devotee says, you were explaining to that reporter in Pennsylvania, Srila Prabhupada, that actually this women's liberation is just a trick by the men. Prabhupada, yes, it is a trick by the men. Yes. Dr. Patel, how? Could you explain that? Prabhupada, because if they remain free, they get young women free. Trivikram, that's a fact. Trivikram's like, giggity, giggity. Trivikram's like, I'm going to get me a 35-year-old when I turn 80. That's going to be my 80-year-old birthday present. Giggity. That's what. So Prabhupada says, that's rascal's man's brain, that you take freedom. So Prabhupada is saying that women getting equal rights is men cheating the women. Men are cheating the women by giving them equal rights. Dr. Patel, this is a third-class argument. Prabhupada, this is argument. This is argument. This is fact. These rascals keep these women unmarried to enjoy daily new young women, these karmis, these rascals. There is club. There is club. These young women are paid for that. Topless, bottomless. You do not know? This is what he's saying. Prabhupada says right here, this is argument, this is fact. These rascals keep these women unmarried to enjoy daily. New young women, these karmis, these rascals, there is club. So Prabhupada doesn't like the idea of adult entertainment, where a grown man can go see a grown woman in a nightclub. He doesn't like that idea. But marrying a 12-year-old girl to a 19-year-old man, he's got no objection to that. He's got absolutely no objection to a 12-year-old girl being married to a 19-year-old man. But two grown adults in a nightclub or even in a strip club, that Prabhupada's got a problem with that. That he calls that rascal. He says, these rascals keep these women unmarried to enjoy daily. New young women, these karmis, these rascals. These young women are paid for that. Topless, bottomless. Dr. Patel, no, I have never seen a girl naked. I refuse to. Prabhupada, I have. I know everything. And then, so then later on, Prabhupada says, and so this is Prabhupada saying this in 1970 something. I'm not going to look at the date because I'll lose my space and I'll lose where I am, and I won't be able to get back to this part of the conversation because it's long. He says, Trivikram, giggity, giggity. No, it's a fact. The young men think like that, giggity, giggity. Prabhupada, they make pregnant and they go away. And this poor girl, either she has to kill the child or beg from the government. Give me welfare. Otherwise, is that freedom? These rascal women? Well, what about you, you fucking old fuck? You married an 11-year-old girl, got her knocked up, had a bunch of kids, and then you left her. The fuck is that? That's your idea of freedom for women? That's your idea of equal rights? That's your idea of how women should be? Just marry them off at 11 years old, 12 years old. They don't get any say in their life at all. None. They don't get anything. And this kind of man, this is the man that these women are going to go and talk at the UN. They want to go and talk. These fuckers want to go and talk about women's rights and women's conference and the state of women in the world today at the UN. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me.
Is the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
Yeah, it's all in his books, Queen. It's all. Seems they all got the same cult manuscript, How to Make a Cult. Yes, they did, and because like Knitting Cult Lady says, if you want to control someone's mind, right, there's only certain ways you can do it, right? You can't just. It's brain science. It's psychology. There's a way to do it. You can't just make up your own way. Like. If I wanted to control all of you people in my chat and get you to do things for me, go out and I'm controlling you like Goro Hari's got those freaks laughing. I can't just make up my own way to do it, right? But there's ways, and it would work on the people it's going to work on. It's not going to work on others, but there's ways to do it, and those ways are how to make a cult, right? It's how to make a cult, and it's how to make a cult. Oh, he has a conversation with someone, and it gets so vile. It's so bad. I had to stop reading. I know. Yeah, I know. I know, Queen. I know. And that's the thing. You either get sucked into it or you get turned off by it. And luckily, you're getting turned off by it. Otherwise, I'd say you need to put that book down. You need to put those books down. You need to put those books down. And people wonder why these bhakti movements are so crazed about sexual perversions and yet emasculating themselves all for the bhava and the prema of Krishna. I know it is the weirdest friggin' thing. it is weird. It is a weird thing, and and I don't want to get slack for it. And Rafael knows more about. There's other devotees that know more about this stuff than I do because they've studied more about the roots of Vaishnavism. They've studied more. Like even Eliana knows more. About some of these things, these different sampradayas and different cults or whatever, different demigods. There's so much. There's so many people that know more about all of this, all of these things, like where in Bengali and when and who and how and this and that. I don't proclaim to know all that stuff, but I have my theories. And I have my speculations and I have my ideas, and to me, to me, my honest feeling, my gut feeling, is that it was some kind of a weird, one of those weird. Chaitanya was either in, or he started, or he joined some kind of weird Radha Krishna love orgy, transgendered or cross-dressing, where where guys dress up like gopis, because they still do that today, where guys dress up like gopis, and it's weird. You see them in Vrindavan, and he's like, these guys, they need a shape. They're not trying to be women. They're guys. They're just dressed up like gopis, right? They got a beard. They got a beard, and and they're like, whatever. It's weird, but I think. Honestly, I think it has its roots in that. I think it has its roots in some kind of either homosexual or cross-dressing or weird sexual cult. And I think maybe over time, they attempted to clean it up a little bit because of the British. When the British came in, or the whoever came in and was ruling India for a while, I think the Brahmins and whoever was running, I think they tried to clean it up a little bit, and kept the basics of it, but they tried to turn these Ramananda Roy into like some cool guy, and all of this stuff. That's just I can't prove it. I can't anything. I have no anything. That's just my own feeling. It's like the pygmies who hang out in the Manosphere podcast. Yeah, I know. Like the woman that's sitting there knitting next to the guy who's sitting there preaching about how women are being, exploited, and children are being exploited, and Krishna is stealing the clothes, and Krishna is transmoral and all this, and she's sitting there knitting, and she knows this stuff about Prabhupada and women's liberation. It's crazy. It's crazy. Once upon a time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard a beautiful woman singing hymns of Gita Govinda. He lustfully ran after her. His disciples tracked him down before he could molest her. It was good rice. Yeah, and as he was running, his hips were swaying and his breasts were full, and milk was flowing from his nipples, and the whole thing. It breaks. It does, and sometimes it happens when that machine is firing on all pistons are firing. Like let's say a guy goes down to the temple and he gets a book, he goes to the temple, and some of these old timers, I don't mean to call you old timers, but we got some old timers in here, which I didn't realize, some actual Prabhupada disciples who joined in the early days, and I'm not going to call them out if they don't want to if they don't want to be called out, but we have some in here that are watching, and I forgot what I was saying, but they know, they know, these old timers know, man, that when that machine is firing on all pistons, and someone goes down there with a book, or they join and they get in they can get brainwashed right away. It can happen overnight. I've heard stories of people where they went to the temple the first time, especially back when Prabhupada was around. Like, because he was this guy, the little Indian guy, and then he had all these people following him around. So it was easy to get kind of caught up in that whole thing. I guess I wasn't there, so I don't know. But I guess it was easy to get caught up in that. And some people would join, and they could overnight. For me, it only took me, I'm going to say 6 months. I didn't join the ashram, but after about 6 months, I had a bead bag. I had beads. I was wearing beads. I was hanging out at the temple. It didn't take much, but 6 months. I'm only recently realizing how appalling the room conversations can be. Well, yeah, the room conversations and the letters is really what was a real eye-opener for me. It was a real eye-opener for me. This Vedabase is what did it. Because like I said, I had the conversation. The conversations book is like 20. It's like 20 books, or I don't know. It's a bunch of books, and but you can't search it, so it's just like you're just reading. You know, you got to read through each one at a time. I wasn't doing all that. Once I got the Vedabase, and it wasn't the Vedabase, it was the CD-ROM. It wasn't called Vedabase. It was like Prabhupada Folio. It was called the Folio. The Prabhupada Folio, and it was on a CD-ROM. Pop it in your computer back when you could pop it in your computer. And I'm searching away. I'm reading everything. I'm searching Yashodanandan's name because I know that Yashodanandan, there's letters to him, conversations with him. And one thing led to another, and I'm reading about kids getting abused, and I'm reading about, I was an eye-opener. One thing led to another, and next thing you know, I'm out. You're still going through the conversations. I've never felt so much anger, disgust, etc. Yeah, and they're recording him, and he's talking like he's the Pope. He's talking like he's, like he's Gorahari, right? Like he's talking like it's. I know, me too. It's like we're all these degraded women that are just like are topless and bottomless everywhere. Well, they're here, but I'm not getting any. I'm not getting any of them. It's, it's so funny. Giggity giggity, man. Where are my degraded women? Giggity giggity. It's so funny. I know when every cult has it, and when we were devotees, we didn't realize how horrendous it was. We didn't. We were like, yeah, look at Prabhupada. He can smash everyone's arguments. He can defeat everybody. And this is a conversation with a devotee. Yeah, he's opening up. He's opening up. He's opening up to these people.
Is the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
I know. We believed he was blissed out with love of God. We thought he was a holy man. We took for granted he was holy. He was spiritual. He was on this, he's coming from the spiritual world, and he's a pure devotee, and he's in a line, disciplic succession, the sampradaya, all of these things, and in our head, we're like, oh my God, he's just, he's beyond the Maharishi. He's beyond, the Pope. He's just the greatest thing that's ever walked the face of the earth. He's just this amazing. And he's not. Now that we're out, and we're out of that foggy bubble of stupidity. We can see, like Queen of Karma can see. We can see what's really going on, and it freaks me out. It really does. It freaks me out. I know Gurukula is not freedom; it's prison. It's prison for kids and women. It's insanity. It's insanity that they would have these women at this UN, speaking at the UN, the Church Center of the United Nations. I mean, what is she going to talk about? How can she? What is she going to say? What is she going to talk about? She's got to lie. She's got to be lying. I mean, what is she going to say? She's going to say, well, in our Krishna consciousness, women have equal rights. And no. What is she going to? She's going to say, well, in our Krishna consciousness movement in ISKCON, women are not allowed to be gurus. They don't have the right to do that. Only men can do that. Is she going to get up and say that? Is she going to get up and say that, well, women really don't get positions of authority in ISKCON? Our women know their place. They, we basically just, wash the clothes and cook the food. We take care of the kids, and we feel transcendentally free from that. We're subordinate to our husbands. Whatever our husbands say goes. We don't say anything. We don't argue. They smack us around a little bit, and we don't say nothing. We're just a bunch of Rupa Manjaris, and that's how it should be, because we're less intelligent. What do we know? Our brains are small, and we like to get raped. So that's what we do in the ISKCON. So you should come and join us, and you should feel this transcendental bliss with us, because this is real freedom. Is that what they're saying? I mean, give me a break. I mean, give me a friggin' break.
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
I don't know. I'm just talking about Krishna consciousness. I'm just talking about Krishna consciousness and what these women are going to say when they speak in front of the UN. It's like, what are they going to say? I don't know. I guess that's what they're going to say, right?
Is the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
I don't know. What are they going to get up there and go giggity, giggity, giggity? I don't know what they're going to do. I know. And we were in that. I know. We were in that group of those freaks. So that group of freaks, when he was talking about child marriage and how Prabhupada had a wife when he was 22 and his wife was 11, and the Indian guy was saying about how his grandmother was 8 and his grandfather was 11 or whatever. And they're talking about they got married, and every single one of them was sitting there going, yeah, it's okay. Child marriage is okay. 11-year-old, 12-year-old wives, yeah. Not one of them said it was wrong. Not one of them said it was wrong. And there's 2 women in there. 2 women in there and 2 guys in there, like 3 guys, 2 women. Not one woman did, and I even said, I said to the guy, I typed in, I said, is Hot Lips gonna marry her daughter? Was Hot Lips married at 11? Does Noodles want to marry her daughter off at 11? Was Noodles married off at 11? Does that woman Janaki, does she want to marry her daughter off at 11? Or her granddaughter? Do they really want to do that? Do they really feel comfortable doing that? Do those guys in there, do they really think it's okay for a grown man? 25, Prabhupada says 80-year-old man can have a 16-year-old wife. But let's not even go there. Let's just say 22. Can a 22-year-old man have a 16-year-old wife? Is that okay? And they all sit there like it's normal. That's what I'm saying, like it's normal. And none of those people were brought up. None of those people were brought up to believe in child marriage. But they got into this cult, had got their brains washed. And now, whatever the guy says child marriage. Says women have small brains, like to be raped. Women have small brains and like to be raped. Is it? I know. We should have that. We should have Operati brand coffee. Operati brand coffee and chai. It sounds so good. It sounds so good. I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Queen. And these women have no problem. They have no problem with it. These are little girls, like my daughter. Like my daughter was a little girl, and they were trying to say that she was overdeveloped, she was flirty, she was this, she was that, all these things, blaming an 11-year-old girl because some old creepy old man couldn't keep his hands off of her. It was the girl's fault. It's the 11-year-old girl's fault. These people are disgusting. And they want to go in front of the UN and talk about shit at the UN about women and children while they believe in child marriage and worship these gurus that are molesting little kids and all of this crap, and they're going to go up in front of the UN and act like act like they're not in a cult, like they're in a whatever, all this bullshit. And you know what it is? It's just to recruit people. It's networking. People come up to them. Oh, you're in ISKCON? Wow, I really like what you had to say during that lecture. Oh yeah, we're in ISKCON. Here, take a book. Fuck these people. You're a Hare Krishna expert. Stop being so humble. I tell everyone you're an expert in this cult. You're in it for 20 years, and you've been speaking out for many years. Deserve the title. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. But I guess I'm a little humble. Dawn is too. I mean we're yeah. We're like the Three Musketeers. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. And for all the trolls who don't know, now they know. Now you'll know. You do it, then you'll know. Exactly. I know. Gopi with a goatee. I know. It's the funniest thing. The first time I saw it, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna be honest. I was right here. I was right there, walking on that path, right in that area. And I was walking, and I thought these were women. There's like 3 women come walking, and they're like all dressed up, and they're flashy. And then as they got close to me, as they passed, they weren't women, they were guys. And they were like, they needed a shave. They had gopi dots on their face. It was like me. It was just like me in a sari with like gopi dots and eyeliner and makeup, in a sari, and chanting, and I had never seen that before, except in San Francisco. No, I had never seen that before, and I really wasn't expecting to see that in Vrindavan. Although I had heard that there were, I had heard. I think Prabhupada mentions that there's such people. There's these people that do that. So yeah, I was shocked. I was really shocked. You don't have to memorize the scriptures, etc., to be an expert. You just need to understand the inner workings and the manipulation, which, yeah, I do, and that's why I feel like I am a Hare Krishna expert, cult expert. So yeah, I do. I'm starting to feel good about using that title, although I am kind of humble about it. I don't mind if other people use it. I don't mind if other people use it. I'm not comfortable. I don't want to feel like I'm bragging. 15th century repressed Bengali men who are also LGBT. Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, survivors are the top experts, and if you look at any, except for that one woman, but she was in a cult, she was in a financial cult, but almost every cult expert, a heavyweight cult expert, not that I'm a heavyweight, every heavyweight cult expert has been in a cult, has been a victim of a cult, because you can't really know the inner workings of a cult and how it affects your brain and how the machine gets running if you haven't been in it. Really, if you haven't been in it. Yeah. Don't tell my guru though. Don't tell my guru. Yes, you're right, Rafael. You're right. Being in a cult and later leaving is actually a very painful process. It's not easy, and most of us left without support next to us. And over the years, we've grown stronger. And I'm going to tell you, when I started doing this, I didn't feel the way I do now. I still had a lot of issues, a lot of residue that I didn't even realize I had. And it wasn't until you guys came along. You know, I was doing it for a while before you guys came along. And once you guys came along and I got to hear you guys talk, meet you guys who, you know, and hear your stories. And that's when my machine started firing. That's when my machine started firing on all pistons, you know. I guess I'm way back on the comments. Yeah, it's insane how socially accepted this cult is. Well, yeah, it is. Just like Children of God was accepted, you know. Operatis are us. Exactly, operatis are us, man. Yeah, I'm trying to get caught up. I wanted to see if there's any. There's no trolls. No trolls today. I guess they're like done. I guess I guess they don't want to come in here, and I don't. They're I see a lot of people watching, but nobody participating. There's fake human. Hey, rocket science gone wrong. Yeah, I know. Fake it till you Vedic. If you know, when you know, you know. Hey, good. Hey, give your dad a thumbs up for me, man. I'm so happy for your dad, man. I really am. I really am. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I know. A lot of people don't think it happens, but it does. It does, absolutely. There's a lot of states that still allow child marriage. Too triggering. I don't know what was too triggering. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get caught up. I got caught up. Okay, so we did the United Nations. I think I got one more. Okay, yeah, it's right here. So this is I don't know where this is from, but it says, but this is the conversation with the newspaper reporter when Prabhupada says, therefore I say they are cheating you in the name of independence, that you do not understand. They are cheating you, and you are thinking you are independent. Ms. Nixon, they forget the responsibility that comes with freedom. Prabhupada, yes, the men, do not take the responsibility. They go away. They enjoy and go away. And the woman has to take responsibility, either kill the child or maintain begging. Do you think begging is very good? So Prabhupada, his only, he can't understand that women want to have their own agency for their future. They want to have their own destiny. They want to. Prabhupada is stuck on the idea that women just have children. So if women have their freedom, then they either have to kill their child or they have to maintain the child by begging, because he can't understand that maybe women don't want to have children. Maybe women want to choose when to have children. Maybe women want to have the control over their life. He can't understand that. He says, therefore, I say they are cheating you in the name of independence. You do not understand. They are cheating you. You are thinking you're independent. But the men, they do not take responsibility. They have sex with you and then they go away. They enjoy and go away. And the woman has to take, so that's the only way, that's the only idea that he could, because in his mind, women are just used for sex. Men just use women for sex. Men need to be celibate. But if they can't be celibate, well, we have women. Luckily, we have women. So for all you men who can't be celibate, you can't live in the ashram, you want to be a grihasta, you can't do it, you just can't do it. Well, luckily for you, we got little girls. We got little girls for you, so you can get married, and then your wife is going to have children. He can't comprehend. He thinks that women, in reality, in our world, women are just spitting out babies, and that's all they can do, and they can't do anything else. So why would you give them freedom? Just like he thinks of women like he thinks of black people. Black people belong in the jungles. Why are you giving them freedom? Why are you giving them civil rights? All they do is drink. All they do is get drunk. Oh, you build a library, they just go for drinking. What do you get? Call them out and have them come get prasadam, because that's all they can do. It's just they're just alcoholics. And he thinks like that's for women. Women, why are you going to give them freedom? All they're going to do is just have kids. They're just going to have a bunch of kids. And who's going to take care of the kids? And they're going to have to kill the kid, or they have to beg from the government he can't think beyond that. Because in his India world, where everybody lives in a village like this, that's his world. Women have a husband, they have kids, they stay home, they cook on a little freaking brick oven, they build a fire out of wood, and they cook their chapatis on a brick stove, whatever, and the kids are around. That's his idea of life. It's Has
the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
A lot of people are stuck on the idea that women just have children. The United Nations thing is problematic. I think you should. Oh yeah, you're good at that. I mean, because see, I like that because you can get the word out to a whole different audience than my audience. But I think you're right. It is. It's problematic. I don't understand. Like who's dropping the ball on these things? You don't know who you're inviting to the UN. You're going to invite David Koresh to speak at the UN. You're going to invite right? You're going to invite L. Ron Hubbard. Who are you going to invite? Who are you inviting to the UN? No, you don't know? Oh, you might, why don't you, Women's Month, why don't you have Ted Bundy come speak? Why don't you have Ted Bundy come speak to and speak on women's rights? Friggin' insanity. It's insanity, man.
Has the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
I saw this UN thing. To tell you the truth, I wasn't really going to do it. I wasn't going to go live today because my throat is still sore. And I was gonna take the day off, but first thing I did is I saw this thing. I saw this on. I said, I haven't been to the ISKCON News in a while. Because I just skipped my mind, and so I went to the ISKCON News, and it's right on the front page. Vaishnavis at the UN. I'm like, what? You gotta be out of your mind. What the hell are they doing? It's. I even get comments like, "You're a mom. Why you do this work?" And it's like, probably because I am a mom. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is important work. I mean, if we could have saved pauses, brother, think of that, and think of how many people we are saving that are watching this and not joining. Like Eliana's dad, he came around. I mean, I'm not taking credit for that, but you know, people can be watching and come around and hear the truth about this cult. Bedtime stories with Mike, you know. My wife cut me down to sex twice a week, better than the other guys. They got cut out altogether. I got no respect. Yeah, he said. My wife and I made a. I was trying to quit smoking. My wife and I trying to quit smoking. So we said we'd only smoke after sex. He's like, I've I still got a pack. I still got a pack. She's doing 2 packs a day or something like that. Hey, see you next time, man. Great to see you here. Great to see you here. Right? Yeah, I know. Yeah, maybe Andrew Tate. Maybe Andrew Tate can speak at the UN for Women's Day. You know, I mean, the problem with cults such as ISKCON, Gaudiya, is they build their fetishes and idolatry around romanticizing such fallacy. I know it, and they mix it up with this Hinduism, and then they say, well, we're not Hindus, but we are Hindus, but we're not Hindus, and and that's what a lot of cults do. There's cults in every religion. You have Christian cults, you have Mormon cults, you have every kind of cult. You have Jewish cults, you have Islamic cults, you have every type of cult. You have Hindu cults, you have every type of cult. Yes, who in the Evan Hill would want to live in a 15th century Bengali rural swamp village milking cows? Yeah, and that's the other thing is, if ISKCON had its way, everybody would be living in a village milking cows. Now, how is that progressive for women's rights when you want everybody to go back to living like in a 15th century Bengali? That's that's crazy. I mean, I just don't understand the connection with Bhakti Yoga or Sanatana Dharma or Varnashram with the UN's conference on women's rights or anything to do with women. I don't understand that. It's insane. The two don't go together. The two don't go together, and them trying to force it together is just out. It's just, that's insanity. It's insanity. Okay, so I did this one, and okay, so while I'm here, I'm going to show you one other thing on this ISKCON news page, because this is just how they are. What can you say? It's always with the kids, because they want to present that we're safe and family friendly, but in reality they're not. They're not safe and family friendly, but they want you to think they are. Look, they got the little girl with the dolls. You know, you're not family friendly. You're not. You know, this girl is just. She's like 5 years. She's like 6 years away from getting married. If they could have their way, she's like 5 years away from getting married, and that's disgusting. It just is. So yeah, I came here and I was looking at this, and all of a sudden, I see this fucker, and this guy passed away. So it's sad. I want to condolences go out to this guy that passed away. Sorry to hear about that. And then I come across this Vaishnavi, women's Vaishnavi, whatever. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. North American Vaishnavi ministry participating in the UN. So that's what's happening in ISKCON. Of course, always with the kids. Gotta show the kids, right? It's just gotta show the kids. Oh yeah, okay, we saw that. My girlfriend and I, we were somewhere here, and it was a Hindu temple. There's a lot of Hindu temples around, and we went to this one Hindu temple, and there was a half Shiva, half Parvati. And my girlfriend asked me because she asked me who's that, what's this, and I'll tell her. I'll go, oh, that's this person. If I can remember. A lot of times I can't remember. It's been so long, but sometimes I can remember. Like I'll go, oh, that's Sita, Ram, and Lakshman, or that's whatever. And and so she asked me one time. She's like, it was half Shiva and half Parvati. And she's like, what's this? And because she knew it was Shiva, but it was only half Shiva. And I said, oh, that's I didn't know the name, and I just said that's Shiva and Parvati in one. That's Shiva and his wife in one person. And she was like, oh, she didn't. I don't think she understood. But now I can understand. I can understand why they would have that that deity here. Yeah, I can understand why they have that deity here. It makes sense. It makes sense to have that deity here because they're very, very devotional here to Buddha and to Brahma that they call Prapom, and to Ganesh that they call Pikanet. So they're very, very respectful here, and it makes sense. That makes sense why they would have. It makes sense. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say on that. Yeah, that was Vishnu is when he made Shiva ejaculate, and they copulate to make babies called Ayapan and Hari Hara. Yeah, I was reading that story and I found there was something in that story that I wanted to share with my friend who's not a devotee. And I was like, hey man, I was like, hey man, listen to this. He was my roommate, and I was in the temple and everything. Our living room was a temple, so he knew about the Krishna stuff. But I never shared any stories with him. I kept that separate. But this one day, I was reading this. I had just come back from India, and I was reading this story, and about Mohini and Shiva ejaculating. But I was sharing something else with him. But anyway, I'm reading the story about it, and all of a sudden, Prabhupada or whoever is writing mentions again that Shiva ejaculated, that Shiva was chasing and his semen fell, and where it fell, all the holy dhams appeared where Shiva. Anyway, so I'm telling my friend this, and as I'm reading it, I'm like, ew, because it like just all of a sudden popped up, and he looked at me and he said, "Is that pornography you're reading?" And I said, "Yeah, no." I said, "No, but yeah. I mean, I guess so. I mean, I don't know. I guess it is. I mean, I never thought of it that way. But yeah, it is. It is absolutely."
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
Oh man, that's what he was saying. He's like, "What are you blathering about?" I'm getting attacked. I'm getting attacked by creepy crawlers here in the jungle. Okay, so we did that. I wanted to share. So I want to show you this before we do the magical mystery story. I got I got a hell of a bug over here trying to get on camera. Okay. I want to show you this. I want to show you this. Maybe Rafael knows this guy. I don't know. You got to see this. There. So how you like that? So you can join this cult. You can join this cult, and you can make curd like you would do 200 years ago. They give you a job doing this. This is exploitation of labor. Again, this is exploiting this guy's labor. He's not getting paid for this. This is his service, which is basically, this is his exploitation. He gets to do this and be happy about it. This is why you joined. You joined this cult so you could separate the curd from the whey. Yeah, just keep separating that curd there, buddy. Yeah, just keep separating that curd, buddy. That's a good job for you. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now let me see. We got rid of that. I'm gonna do that one later if I get to it, and I want to get rid of this. Where is it? Okay. All right, everybody. Before we get to this, let me see. We got. Yeah, gotta feed those dolls, man. Gotta feed those dolls. All bullshit fantasy stories, and they don't make sense. None of them make sense. There's no moral. That's what got me. I remember when I was reading. I remember reading a Krishna book, and when I first read the first story of Krishna book, and it was I forget what the first story is, but I'm reading the first story, and it's like Krishna under the cart, or Krishna is born, birth of Krishna, the advent of Krishna, I guess, right? That starts with the advent of Krishna. And it gets to the end, and it just says, anyone who hears this story is guaranteed to go back to God. And I was just like, that's it? There's no moral? There's no moral to this story you want me to read? I read this whole story. There's no instruction. There's nothing for me to learn. I mean, what am I going to learn from that? That if you need to get away from King Kamsa, have your dad put you in a basket and carry you across the river. I mean, what am I supposed to learn? What's the meaning behind this? What am I supposed to learn from this? Just worship your guru, wash his feet, and read these stories that have no meaning, no rhyme or reason. Just, it doesn't matter. Wasn't he separating the curd from the whey? He's making butter. He's making butter. I thought he was making curd, but I guess he's churning the cream to make the butter. Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. I got confused. Yeah, it's exploitation of exploitation of labor. Is the guy just making the guy? Is this free labor? Is this free labor? He left his job behind. The worst part is these people leave their jobs, relations behind, so he can go churn and make some butter. So he can go make some butter. So he can go make some butter. You know? Hey, I'm joining the spiritual thing. I'm going to be gone. I'm going to India to make butter. I'm going to India to make some butter. He's like, oh my God, it's so funny. It's so funny. They told him, they told him he was going to have a good time.
Just what is it that you want to do?
Well, we want to be free. We want to be free to do what we want to do. We want to be free to ride. And we want to be free to ride our machines without being hassled by the man. And we want to get loaded. And we want to have a good time. And that's what we're going to do.
Well, when, baby? Let's go.
We're going to have a good time.
We're going to have a good time.
We're going to have a party.
Yeah! We're going to have a party. That's what they told him. They told him he was gonna have a good time. They said, "You're gonna have a good time. You're gonna do what you want. You're gonna have a good time." And he ended up over there, and now he's. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Oh my goodness. They're brainwashed to think material life is so difficult. They have to renounce material life and live in the ashram to end up homeless. Ultimately, he gave up whatever it was that he was doing back home, so he could sit there and churn this butter for free, for goddamn free, for nothing, while he's in a pedophile cult. Meanwhile, he's in a pedophile cult. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say, man. Right, Don? Yeah, Don says, yeah, Don agrees. Don agrees with me. It's exploitation of the worst kind. It's exploitation of the third kind. It is so sad. Okay, so I had to show you that guy. I just had to show you that guy. So now it's time. It's time for. Oh, I don't have it. Let me see. Let's see what it's time for. I gotta find it. It's not quite time yet. It'll be time in a second. Here we go. It's gonna be time right now. All right, here we go. Oops. Here we have Amoga Leeladas. Amoga. Let me get on here. We got Amoga Leeladas. And we got Giggity Prabhu. He was churning butter. He was churning the ocean of milk. He was just churning away, man. Oh my God, that's funny. I do this every day. Don't I look happy? So funny. All right, let's get into this. Let's get into a little bit of this guy. This sad sack. This sad story, man. It's like he's making a hostage video for his parents back home. I don't know.
How I came to Krishna consciousness. My interest in spiritual life, you could say, indirectly began when I was very young. I remember at a very young age, even when I was probably 4.
At 4 years old, he was already spiritually. He was already asking the eternal questions of life. He was 4 years old. He had a popsicle in one hand, he had his teddy bear in the other, and he looked at his mom and he said, "Mama, what is the meaning of life?" And she said, "Go watch cartoons." He said, "Go watch cartoons." You could ask me that when you're in junior high school, but not right now. You're 4 years old. Go watch cartoons. Go watch cartoons, buddy. My little man. Oh, isn't that cute, little man? Go. That's my little man. He's already a philosopher at 4 years old.
5 years old. I had the feeling that
that
I didn't belong in the world.
He didn't belong in the world.
I had a feeling of isolation. I felt isolated from.
He felt isolated at 5. He was 5 years old. He's already. I guess he's on. I don't know. He needed to be diagnosed with something. Maybe he needed some Ritalin. I don't know what was going on at 5 years old. That he was. I got to hear that again. I got to hear this again because it is. Remember, it's a magical mystery story. Okay, it's got to be magical and mystery.
That I didn't belong in the world. I had just a strange, a feeling of isolation. I felt isolated from the rest of the world. I felt like I had been born, but I didn't know why I was born. And my mother was telling, my parents were telling me that I should go to school and I should do this and I should do that.
You gotta be kidding me! Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me! I'm trying to let him talk, but it's too funny. I can't handle it.
But I really felt like I hadn't had some very basic questions answered, even at a very young age. And so I had this very deep feeling of isolation, even as a child. And so
he needed kindergarten is what he needed. Come on, he needed kindergarten. He didn't need psychiatric help. He needed kindergarten. He needed some toys. He needed some toys and maybe Bugs Bunny. I know, go smoke a do, bro. I know, it's so funny. Snoggle, I feel like if we say that, then we're being mean, or we're, I still don't know how to deal with that whole issue. I don't want to be rude or be like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. So it's always weird for me when I say, maybe there's something going on. I just, you know what I mean? I just don't know. Let's hear so he's 5 years old and he doesn't feel right about the world.
I grew up in you could say a middle-class, normal area in the United States, where most people were not so interested in philosophy. They weren't so interested in answering such questions. So I remember.
Yeah, and see. Hey, good to see you, Queen. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, work on that article, man. I'm gonna be excited to see it. That's really great. That's really great. Yeah, Snoggle. I know, and that's why it's like I don't know enough about to make any kind of that's why I hate. I don't want to start talking about stuff I don't know about, and if I don't know about it, I don't want to say the wrong thing and come across as offensive or come off as I don't want to do that. So a lot of times I just don't say anything because I don't know enough about it. But I'm glad. But when you say it and you bring it up, stuff like that, then I feel like, okay, someone else is talking about it, and it's okay. So thanks. I understand. And now he has the answer. I know, and I know, and now he's got the answer. The 12-year-old girl on the cow planet. I know, this is so crazy. It is so crazy.
I would have discussions sometimes with my father growing up. Of course, this was, a little bit later, regarding the nature of existence and why we existed or why anything existed at all, why there wasn't just a universe full of empty space or something like that. I remember discussing like that with my father. And my father was a generally thoughtful person.
Since he brings up his dad, since he brings up his dad, I gotta tell you this little quick story. So I did that with my dad. I said, I wasn't into Hare Krishna. I think I was in high school. And I had this teacher, one of those teachers, that's like all, kind of guru-ish, he's telling you all kinds of weird stuff. And I remember talking to my dad, and I said, Dad, what's the meaning of life? Like, how can we live our life if we don't know the meaning and, the universe, and why are we here? Why are we born? Like these existential, metaphysical type questions. I was like getting all deep with my dad, and so I'm asking him, how do you get, like how, we don't know why we're here. What's this, what do you think about, what do you have to say about that, Dad? And he just looked at me, and man, my dad was the greatest thing ever. He looked at me and he just said, "What difference does it make?" And it hit me like friggin' Socrates or something. I was just like, wow. I mean, I guess it does. He's like, what difference does it make? And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm good with that answer, Dad. I'm totally good with that answer. That's why you're my dad. That's why you're my dad.
So, he would indulge those questions, but no real answers from anyone. Both of my parents.
He should have told you, what difference does it make? That's where you went wrong. Your dad should have just said, hey, what difference does it make, kid? You're going to have to go get a job. What difference does it make?
Grew up in the Soviet Union. They were both very strong atheists. My father especially was very strongly atheistic. My mother had some kind of sentiment toward Christianity because she grew up in a village. So, whatever, those people are a little bit more traditional, you could say. My father grew up in the city, so very strong atheistic ethos, which was passed down to me. So growing up, I never went to church. I was never interested in spirituality or anything like that. But I did have this very deep feeling of isolation and a lot of questions about why I existed or why anything existed at all.
Seriously though, no money, no honey. No money, no honey. Seriously though, who in life, because she grew up in a village? Yeah, okay, I know. That was funny. You caught that too. I caught that, but I didn't say nothing. I was just like, she grew up in a village. Yeah, but I just want to say, who in life hasn't asked, who hasn't looked up into the stars, looked at the moon, looked into outer space, and thought, why are we here? What's going on? What are those, planets and the universe is so huge and we'll never know, like we're never going to know what's really happening and like who hasn't, who on this planet, no matter what language no matter where you've grown up, what continent you're on, who hasn't? I mean, that's part of the human existence. That's part of human nature, is to look up in the sky at the stars and the moon and the planets and everything and go, why are we here? What's going on? And as my dad said, what difference does it make? Right? I mean, what difference does it make? But who hasn't asked that question? But when you get on your magical mystery story, when you're in your magical mystery story, that becomes the focus. It's like, well, I wanted to know what, I mean, like, dude, you're no different than anybody else. Except, I wasn't asking that when I was 5. I was, I was watching Bugs Bunny. But to each his own, I guess.
So fast forward to, I guess, around my teenage years, I got interested in reading philosophy to some extent. And I was reading some books by existentialist authors. And I got interested also in a philosophy called solipsism, which is basically the idea that nothing exists outside of our own mind, and our reality is just an illusion, and it's all just, it doesn't exist outside of the mind. So, I guess you could say it's something close to Mayavad. But anyway, I was interested because that was the only thing that really, that I'd heard that sort of lined up with my experience. I felt very isolated from the rest of the world.
So you notice, for all you non-Hare Krishnas out there, everything is us and them, us versus them. So you're either a devotee or a non-devotee, and non-devotees are either Mayavadis or I don't know. Mayavadi pretty much covers everything, but Mayavadi. So he immediately goes to the Mayavadi designation that anything that he learned or anything meaningful in life that is not Krishna, well, that's Mayavadi. That's just Mayavadi. Yeah, mind is all that exists. Yeah, we know where we're going with that. I gotta say that Don's advice, Don, your advice is the best one. He needs to go smoke a doop. He needed to, instead of joining this cult, he needed to go smoke a doop, and that's what he needed to do. And my maternal grandfather told my mom something similar to what you said, Mike. What difference does it make? You got to get a job, Social Security loans, can't live under a bridge like a gargoyle. Yeah, and then, there's a story in the Bhagavatam about this king that there's a story in the Bhagavatam about this king. I forget his name. One of you guys might know, who he just laid down on the ground and just said, I'm just going to lay here because I realize that there's no point in doing anything. So I'm just going to lay here. And then they preached to him and they said, no, you're on the right track, but you really got to you really got to do devotional service. But he was just ready to just lay down and just die, just lay there until he died and do nothing, because he came to the realization that life is an illusion and there's nothing to do. And I don't know, it's in the Bhagavatam. I'm sure one of you guys know who that was. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you don't. But it's in the Bhagavatam. But yeah, when he realized the meaning of life, and that life, whatever, he's just like, that's it. And he just laid down. And he wouldn't move. He wouldn't get up. He wouldn't do anything. He wouldn't eat. He was just like, I'm done. I'm done. He's done. But yeah, what difference does it make? And especially when you're following a friggin' pedophile cult that's based on a bunch of lies, a bunch of false scriptures, fake gurus, fake scriptures. I don't even know if half of these scriptures are even real. I mean, not real, but I mean, that Bhaktivinoda Thakur didn't write them. I mean, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced of their bullshit. So that on top of everything. King Mukakunda. There you go. I knew someone knew. Yep. That's what I'm saying. I've forgotten more than Gora Hari will ever learn. And I don't mean that to brag. I just mean that's just the way it is. I mean, that's just the way it is. Is it me or does he seem clinically depressed now? Yeah, he doesn't seem happy. Let's get back to him. He doesn't seem happy at all, even though he's got the meaning of life. He figured out the meaning of life. You think he'd be in transcendental bliss.
And I felt almost like the whole world was fake, and I couldn't really, find my place within it. So that philosophy kind of appealed to me. That actually, it is fake. It's all, nothing is real, and the reason that I felt isolated was because the whole thing was an illusion.
Nothing is real, and nothing to get hung about. Strawberry fields forever. See, he's on a magical mystery story. He's on a magical mystery tour. He just quoted John Lennon. See, he knows what he's talking about. Oh, man.
So I started reading like that, and I read some other things still never interested in religion or Christianity or anything like that. I never went to church or anything. But I did get a copy of Bhagavad Gita, not Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, but just a translation by some, I think he was Indian person. I think his name was Ekanath something. I'm forgetting his last name. But it was Bhagavad Gita.
Wow, he got the real Bhagavad Gita. He got the real Bhagavad Gita, and he didn't get it.
Rendered into English poetry. So, the language was a bit difficult to understand, and of course, even those who read Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, if you don't read the purports, if you just read the text, it's not very easy to understand. So you can imagine it's all the more difficult if it's in poetry, and also you don't have any explanations. So, but I read it, and at the very least, I was attracted to the sort of, it struck me as something very deep. It was mysterious, and it was kind of mystical, but I could tell that there was something there. Up to that point, I hadn't really been exposed to any kind of non-completely materialistic philosophy. Nothing like mystical or spiritual or anything like that. So when I read that, I thought,
to me, if we were grading these stories, 1 through 10, I'd give this guy like a 1. He's really, he hasn't really done anything magical or mysterious in his story. He was a little kid, and he was wondering about the meaning of life when he was 5, and he was talking to his dad, and he didn't really, and then he decided he was going to believe in nothing, just the mind, and then he started reading some books, and he read some books, and then he ended up with a Bhagavad Gita that wasn't it wasn't Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, another Bhagavad Gita. It's just it's like he's trying to make up something magical mystery, and I don't think they told him, hey, it's gotta be. Can you kind of up the magic and up the mystical? It's not magical or mystical enough. I don't know. He's not getting a high grade on this story. That's for sure. Not from me.
it was kind of interesting. It was something new, something I hadn't heard before. So I kind of noted that. I became a little bit interested. That same author, he translated some of the principal Upanishads. He had just a one-volume book about that thick. And I got that also. I read that. And then I kind of, after reading those things, I became kind of interested in, I guess, for lack of a better word, you could say Hinduism. I wasn't really interested in the religious life of a Hindu or, the rituals or this or that. But I liked the kind of...
So let me translate that for you. He wasn't looking to join a cult. He wasn't looking to join a cult. That's what he's trying to say.
Of mystique of the, philosophy, or at least what my understanding of the philosophy was at that time. So I sort of kind of started identifying with that a little bit. Because I had some friends who had spoken about this too.
Okay, here we go.
And they, for my birthday one year, or at least one of them for my birthday one year gave me a book called Bhakti Yoga, The Art of Eternal Love, which is, for those who know, or I guess for those who don't know, a book published by the BBT. I'm not sure if it was published during Srila Prabhupada's time or after, if it was compiled after. But anyway, Bhakti Yoga, The Art of Eternal Love. I got that book on, I think it was my 15th or 16th birthday when I was in high school. And I saw it and I looked at the cover, and I had a very, because I was skeptical about religion, I saw it and I saw the cover and I just thought it was kind of like I wasn't really interested in reading anybody's own personal ideas, which is, I guess, is kind of ironic because I was when I was.
Something mystical or magical has got to happen. I'm waiting for the mystic and the magic, and he's really dragging.
When I was
it
reading Western philosophy, I was kind of reading, people's own ideas. But somehow or other, when I saw it, I said, "Oh, this is just somebody's interpretation."
I definitely have a better story to tell.
I wanted to. What I was interested in reading was the actual like ancient texts. But of course, little did I know that that was actually a good and authorized presentation. But when I saw it, I just thought it was something, some other. I never bought into the whole New Age spirituality or the hippie yoga sort of thing.
He's got a horrible story. He's dressed in white. That means he wants to get married, or he is married. I doubt if he's married. But he's lying. I know. That's what I feel like. I feel like he's got no story at all. It's just like, I got a book. I read it and I joined. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. I don't know. Yeah, I know you guys want me to do this. It's like a hostage video. But it's like a hostage video. But you know what I'm interested in? To tell you the truth, I'm really interested in like one of these. You ever watch these body language experts? There's a couple of them that I watch that I see on YouTube that I watch just for fun, and he watches they watch people on TV, like a guy on the news that's telling a story, or a guy that's being interviewed, or someone who's on stage and they're giving a lecture, or whatever it is. They'll Will Smith and Jada Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith, when they were doing their thing, and he would analyze their body language. Oh, see where his eyebrows go up. He did this, and that means this and that. And I find that fascinating. Yeah, body language experts. I find that fascinating because a lot of stuff what they say is like, he goes, some of your responses, your facial responses, like you have no control over it. Like when your eyebrows go up and down when you're thinking or when you're saying something, like my eyebrows just went up. It's like I have no control over that. And I'm not thinking raise my eyebrows. They go up and down according to what the brain signals that are, when as I'm talking, whatever I'm thinking, the brain is sending signals to my eyebrows and they're moving. And so there's things like that, like certain things that when you're talking, you don't have control over it. And so this guy, so this guy he analyzes this. I would love for this guy to analyze these guys talking, because they're doing all of this stuff with their face, their expressions, their eyebrows, where they're looking, like he's looking up. Like you said, these CIA, the CIA and FBI guys, they can read this stuff, and it's not like they can. Yeah, CIA, FBI, yeah, these body language, they can read this stuff, what he's saying, the way his face moves, and it's not like he can tell if he's lying or telling the truth, but he can say, oh, he's feeling, he did this with his face. That means he smirked, which means he's not sure what he's saying, or he has confused about it. All these different keys. They're like little keys and tells. And you can't always tell exactly what's going on, but he gives a lot of clues.
So I was kind of sensitive to it because I saw that it was really sentimental, and I was never really interested in it. So anyway, I saw the book, and that was sort of my opinion of it. But I did flip through it, and I saw...
Like a lot of times when he's talking, he's looking down. He's not looking at the camera. He's just looking down. And we don't know if it's because he's camera shy or if he's just avoiding the camera because of whatever. But the behavior guy is really good.
Pictures, and I really liked the pictures. I thought the pictures were really nice. And in particular, there was that painting.
And then he also analyzes what they're saying and their face expressions. Like if they're saying something a certain way, but their facial expression is the opposite, he can see that, and he can just tell when there's shit going on. And I think it's fascinating. I would love for the behavior guy to analyze, to watch some of these characters telling their stories and seeing what he says. Like, oh, he's not being. I don't think he's being truthful here because his eyebrows went up and his bottom lip went out. Whatever he can figure. I just wish it's just. I would like to see how he would analyze some of these characters, and some of these also I would like to see him analyze these gurus that are sitting there lecturing, and like Sri Dayananda when he's reading from the Bhagavatam, and then he's lecturing about exactly, feelings can be deceptive. I would love for one of these behavior guy, the guy that I watch, I would love for him to analyze like Sri Dayananda or Gora Hari or any of these guys that are giving lectures, Bhakti Vikash, Indra Yumna, and see like how their eyebrows are moving and the veins in when their veins pop out, and when they smirk, when they do a certain thing, when they twitch, when they look down, when they look up. All of these things, these analysts, these people spend years analyzing people and knowing and knowing when they're lying and catching them when they're lying, and they get good at it, and they know. It's not perfect, and the guy will tell you it's not perfect, but they can tell a lot. They can get a lot out of people. They can figure a lot of shit out from what people are saying just by what they're saying and how what their facial expressions are. And I know that these gurus and these fakers and all of these guys, they got to be giving off clues. They got to be giving off clues as to what's really going on in their mind, because their face, they can't control it. They can't control it. When they're reading, when Sri Dayananda is reading off a thing about there's a spaceman floating between the planets, and he's looking, and he reads that, and his eyebrows go up, or they go down, or he looks over there, or whatever he does, and that's a known deceptive. People are. That's when they're lying, or that's when they're thinking, or that's when they're making stuff up. They do these certain things. I want to see that. I don't know how we can get them. I don't know how we contact them and say, hey man, I want you to analyze this video. I want you to analyze. I want you to analyze this guy. I want you to tell me, what is he? Is he telling the truth? What's going on with this guy?
Under they're sitting under a tree and they're both writing.
Yeah,
and
it's
so
all subconscious.
I cut out that
all
picture,
man.
And I think a picture of the Rasa dance also, and maybe one more. Yeah.
See all that stuff where
there
he's
was that
talking,
picture.
All that stuff where he's talking and he's remembering, he's moving his eyes, he's thinking, he's going the Rasa dance. He's thinking. It's all subconscious. All these little things are subconscious, and they can tell. They can tell when they. I know, and it's funny. I'm really curious. Everything is Maya. Then how can you trust? How can you trust anything? That's what I said. I said, look, if I have 4 defects, I make mistakes. I'm in illusion. I forget the other 2. I'm in illusion. I make mistakes. The senses are bad. Whatever it is, and the mind, whatever it is, mind makes mistakes. Whatever it is, the 4 defects. If I have 4 defects, then how can I possibly know who the pure devotee is? If I'm covered with 4 defects and the illusory energy, and it's Kali Yuga, then how can I recognize the pure devotee? So, of course, the answer is, well, Krishna said, Arjuna asked Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, how does he walk? How does he talk? How does he this? How does he that? Yeah, sure. But if I'm in illusion, how do I know? That doesn't, if you can tell me how he walks, how he talks, but if I'm in illusion and I make mistakes and I can't figure it out, then I'm going to miss it. And if I miss it, you can't blame me because I'm in illusion. That makes no sense. It makes no sense. Pre-interview prep points. Yeah, I know. I know. That's so funny. That's so funny. I'm done with this guy. I'm done with this guy, and I guess I did want to show you this. I have a few minutes to go. I'm not at my end yet. I got a few. So I wanted to show you this. This is from 2023, and this again. This has to do with child abuse, and this is this idiot's. Hey Don, have a great day, man. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for stopping by, man. I really like it when you're here, man. I really do. And so I'm going to finish up with this. I'm going to comment on this guy.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of the Hare Krishnas in Britain podcast. This is episode number 51. The Hare Krishnas in Britain podcast is brought to you by the Hare Krishna Project, which is a national initiative to try, and we do try as hard as we can, to share Krishna consciousness, the philosophy of the Bhagavad Gita, with a new audience. Some people often ask me, Narada, who is that new audience?
So he's trying. He just said he wants to spread Krishna consciousness, and Krishna consciousness includes child marriage and women like to be raped. Women are less intelligent. We just heard Prabhupada talking about women are not equal, and so much nonsense. And this Narada guy, his job is he wants to spread Krishna consciousness, and he's got a podcast where he's investigating ISKCON's child abuse cover-up. That's how brainwashed this guy is. Think about that.
Who are those new people? Well, those are the possibly 67 million people in the UK have never heard of Krishna, and it's a tall order. It's a massive challenge we've given ourselves. At the Hare Krishna Project, we're keen to share Krishna consciousness with anyone who is willing to listen. And we produce this podcast every week, and we appreciate everyone from actually around the world that tunes in either on Facebook or YouTube to watch it or to listen to it. I'm really pleased to welcome our guest this week, guest number 51. Hi, Riddhi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Nathan. Should I call you Nathan or Narada?
You can call me Nathan or Narada, I don't mind.
Okay.
Some people call me Narada. My mother calls me Nathan. They're both wonderful names. I know. Yeah. It's not like a two altered ego type thing. It's still the same person. So Hare Krishna, Riddhi, it's great to see you, to have you as a guest. You and I have been in contact for about 18 months now. I think we first made contact around the autumn of 2021, which seems like a lifetime ago now. Yeah. 2021. So let's maybe start by you telling us a bit about you and your background and all that kind of thing.
Sure. So my name is Riddhi. I was studying journalism in the UK, doing my master's degree in journalism at Goldsmiths University, which I have completed now. And now I work as a freelance journalist. I came into I have been researching about the child abuse story within the ISKCON community for the past year, actually more than that, and which is what brought me to you, in fact, because your podcast is how it all started for me. I actually, when I was, so I've always been I've always visited the ISKCON temple in London with my family, and my family has always been like a big followers of the ISKCON. followers of ISKCON, which is why I was really interested in finding out more about the community. And I wanted to actually start off with interviewing people who, especially Westerners, who converted into Hinduism and, who have adopted this as a way of life, which was very, for someone who was looking at it as an outsider, was kind of strange for me that, people have renounced their way of life to adopt Hinduism, which was kind of strange and beautiful in a way. Yeah, so which is why I wanted to do a story about, interviewing some of these people. But then when I went on social media and I started looking for the Hare Krishna communities and people I could interview, I did find a lot of posts about people sharing their experiences, and I came across a documentary actually that one of the members had made in the past. I went through that, and then one thing led to another. I came across your podcast series, and I saw some of the interviews on it, by some of the members, and it kind of opened my eye to the dark side of it, to the side that people wouldn't know about.
So yeah, I can't take her anymore. But I just want to comment. So my comment on this is my takeaway from this is she's able to see that there's an issue. She's able to see that there's like a child abuse problem and there's a child abuse cover up. There's a lot of, and she realized that from watching this guy's videos. But this guy can't figure it out. She's figured it out. She's like, well, I'm a journalist. I went to college. I got a degree, and I'm investigating this thing that I kind of grew up around. My parents have been going ever since I was little, and I don't know if her parents are in it or if they're like Hindus and they go to the ISKCON temple because that's the temple that's nearby. But she's mentioned that she's been going since she was a little kid. But she it doesn't sound like she's really a devotee, like a real devotee. So now she's investigating ISKCON. She comes across child abuse. She comes across this guy's channel, and all the people that he's interviewed, and all the abuse things that he's covered, and she's just like, wow, I really opened my eyes to all the abuse and all of this stuff that's going on. But he's just, look at him. He's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Abuse. I mean, yeah, there's abuse, but I mean, what do you want? What do you want me to do about it? I mean, I'm trying to bring more people into this place. I'm trying to get more people in, and you're talking about all the abuse, and you're blaming it on. And you found out about the abuse on my channel. You found out about all the abuse on my channel, and and I'm supposed to be the investigative journalist, and you come on here telling me about how you've investigated and you found out shit that I mean, how come I didn't figure this out? I mean, I know. Look at him just sitting there like, I know. Well, maybe English isn't her first language. Maybe English is her second language. I don't know. But look at this guy. Look at this guy. He's like, oh no, another one that's gonna badmouth my religion. Not another abuse. Oh, he's like, what did I get myself into? What did I get myself into? Oh man, you just can't get away. You just can't get away from the abuse and the cover up and all that crap. And I think this guy's interviewed every abuse victim. I think he's interviewed every abuse victim in ISKCON. And he's just like, hey, well, what can you do? He's like, this is, he's like, welcome to episode number 1,500, 1,599. I still don't know what's wrong with ISKCON. He's just had no clue. He just cannot figure it out. He just can't. He just can't figure it out, man. He just can't figure it out. Oh, it's too funny. Too funny. Okay, everybody, that's gonna be it for me. Irritating my throat with all this laughing. Was exhausting enough covering the whole thing up. I know. I know. He's like, he. Look at him. He's like, okay, look, I know about the child abuse, but now you're telling me that they're covering it up too. It's like, oh my goodness, how much longer can I stay in this cult? Like, how much longer can I do this? I mean, this is getting out of hand. I mean, he had no idea when he started his podcast that it was going to be victim after victim after victim. It was going to be victims contacting him the whole time. Hey, can I come on your show and talk about how I was a victim? He's like, oh my God, not another one. He's like, not another one, man. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, hey, thank you. I appreciate it. I hope I feel better too, man. This thing is lingering. It's lingering and won't go away. So everybody, I want to thank you all. And it's great that Queen of Karma is going to write up an article and get a whole nother audience looking at this ISKCON and they're infiltrating the United Nations. So that is good. That is good. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. So thanks for joining me tonight. It's been great. It's always great with you guys. I love our get together. If I feel good, I'll do it again tomorrow, I hope. And I want everybody. I just want to thank you all. Really, I can't thank you guys enough. And every one of you. I'm not going to go through the names today because of my throat, but I just want to thank everybody so much for joining me, making it what it is. Everybody, please have a great day, great night, great morning, great afternoon. If you're hungry, have a great brunch. Have some great luck, and everybody stay out of a cult. And just for fun, here I am as Hare Krishna.
Just walk away. There has been too much violence, too much pain. Just walk away, and there will be an end to the horror. Just walk away.